Grow wise with me. Grow wise with me, because this knowledge will enhance your vocabulary. Greek mythology is being continued for 2-3 more classes, and then we'll coming up with the inference of the passages, the most awaited video. Right? So we continue with the series. Before I do that, I tell you, I've already done 10 of these, and we did previously more of these mythological things, and now we turn to the next of this series. See, in day-to-day life reading, you might come across, apart from the single words, like once we saw in the previous chapter, phrases and sometimes even sentences which are taken from mythology. Phrases whose full meaning could not be revealed unless you take a look behind the mythological curtain. Let's have a look into some of those phrases and sentences given below, right? A soap to Cerberus. What is a soap to Cerberus? This is not soap. See the pronunciation, it varies. This is soap. Soap is a gift. A soap to Cerberus is something which is a gift for something. Let me just cross this. This has just come out of it. Soap to Cerberus I was talking of. This is means a gift, and this is a dog. You'll say, why a gift to dog? A sweet cake, it could be biscuit, it could be chocolate, it could be anything else. This is making a conciliatory offering. Co means together, to someone who may cause trouble to you. This person may prove problematic to you, so you give him something so that this person becomes quiet. This is soap to Cerberus, right? Now this person may cause trouble to you, like you've heard of this word, must have surely heard of it, bribery or elbow grease or line one's pockets. So, what is the origin of the word? In Greek and Roman mythology, Cerberus was a three-headed dog that guarded the entrance of the lower world and growled at newcomers. So, this dog made it next to impossible to enter this place. A few of the mythological heroes like Hercules, Theseus and Aeneas wanted to visit the lower world and return from it. They had to get by Cerberus. Aeneas did it by throwing a drugged honey cake on Cerberus that put the dog to sleep. Now, he had given this Aeneas, the hero, gave him what? A sweet biscuit. And by this what happened? This dog became totally quiet and went to sleep. This is called a soap to Cerberus, making a conciliatory offering to someone who may cause trouble or problem to you. Right? In simple words, bribery, elbow grease, line one's pocket. This person is causing a problem to you, you give him some money. The policeman stops you. Ma'am, where is your helmet? Where is your driving license? You give him 100 rupees. He becomes quiet. It's not right, of course. That is why India is still a developing country and we are not able to eradicate crime from and problems and culprits from our society. I'm not in favor of this. I won't give him 100 rupees. I'm just giving an example. The next one, between Scylla and Charybdis. This idiom, before I start with, is also linked with between the devil and the deep blue sea, Hobson's choice. You have two choices and both the choices are disagreeable to you. Means you are told that you have to die. You will die dipping into the sea or into the ditch, but you have to die. This is a two alternatives. Both are not acceptable, unacceptable alternatives. To be between two perils. What is perils? Perils is danger. You are between two perils, two dangers or evils, neither of which can be evaded. What is evaded? Removed. You cannot remove either of them without risking the other. In classical mythology, Scylla and Charybdis personified as female monsters guarding the strait between Italy and Sicily. They preyed upon vessels which tried to pass through. If the sailors gave one a wide berth, they were almost certain to come to nose close to the other. In fact, this phrase is linked similar to out of the frying pan into the fire, between the devil and the deep blue sea. Students usually ask it, ma'am, how come this is very, very important? Because you are stuck between two dangers, two problems. Right, students? Okay. Turning to the next one. This is one of the best idioms, beware the Greeks bearing gifts. You know, Greeks were known for their subterfuge, their trick, their, cheating and forgery, their insidious and sly nature. So, something that symbolizes hidden agenda or treachery. Origin of this phrase. Now, because we are reading Greek mythology, we all are aware of the Trojan War, which lasted for 10 years. And the Greek people, that is Ulysses, was the Greek hero. He was the one who was the Greek hero who led the battle. And they prepared a wooden horse. It was very, very difficult to get into Troy. So what did he do? He prepared a wooden horse. This is not a made-up story, dearies. I'm not telling you fairy tales. Yeah, this is a real story. So he made a wooden horse, and the whole army sat in the wooden horse. This horse was kept outside the gates of Troy. Mind it, mark my words, it was next to impossible to enter Troy without this treachery. This is a subterfuge or a trick. I write down this word for your convenience. That is, it's a subterfuge, a kind of a trick that the Greeks played on the Troy people. So they left the horse outside the gates of Troy. Now the people of Troy saw this beautiful horse. They saw the camps burning. Greeks had created such a kind of picture that they have left the place. So they thought Greeks have left, and let's take this horse inside. So they opened the gates, and the horse was put in. And that day there was revelry, party, enjoying, merrymaking. The Greeks came out at midnight and attacked on the unarmed soldiers, the sleeping soldiers. It's not right, it's not correct according to the ethics, according to the norms of war. But it is said, all is fair in love and war. They took their queen and they took it. That's why we also have this, all is fair in love and war. This attacked the sleeping soldiers, the unarmed soldiers, and win over Troy. And how did they do it? By treachery, by cheating, by forgery. By that treachery is cheating. So this cheating is famous in history, Greek mythology of the people of Greece. Now I read out for your convenience. It will be child's play, cakes walk for you now. Something that symbolizes hidden agenda or treachery. Its origin is the Greeks were unable to capture Troy by storm, resorted to trickery. They left a huge wooden horse filled with armed men outside the walls and pretended to sail away. The Trojans wanted to drag the horse into the town and celebrate, but their priest, Lycaon, warned them that the horse was an artifice, it's an art object. With these famous words, I fear the Greeks even when they bear gifts. Please note it. Your enemy, if the enemy gives gifts, if Pakistan sends some kind of, sweets for us, should we eat them? No, we can't trust them. We can't. The Trojans went right on with their plans, made an opening in the walls and wheeled in. The wooden horse, which though a Greek gift has ever been known as the Trojan horse, a symbol of, yes, it's a symbol of treacherous infiltration. It is treachery, forgery, but just to win their game, they applied this treachery and they won over Troy. Right? This is a very important example of subterfuge or trick or cheating or forgery. So it should be kept in mind by our students for synonym section. Treachery, cheating, forgery, sly, cunning, trick, prank, any kind of thing which you affect the mind of the person. You show as an illusion to the other person that this is right, but actually in real sense it is something which is lacking, which is not right. You'd asked me to make up the sentence, so I make up, ma'am, how can this work? I do make up a sentence for the first three of here. This was the S which was missing in this. soap to Cerberus is making a conciliatory offering to someone or who may cause trouble. That means to get his license, he had to offer a soap to Cerberus. In India, to get your work done, you have to give a soap to Cerberus. The second one. In life, we are many times caught between the Scylla and Cerberus, or between the devil and the deep blue sea, or out of the frying pan into the fire. The next one, beware the Greeks bearing gifts. If Pakistan offers us some sweets, Indians would be aware of the phrase that beware the Greeks bearing gifts. Even if they do something good for us, we shouldn't forget that they are somebody who are not trustworthy. Caesar's wife. Have you heard of the great Roman emperor Julius Caesar? Shakespeare's famous historical play by the name Julius Caesar. His best friend, yes, what was the name of the best friend? Decimus Brutus. And they are the symbol of ideal friendship. Of course, there were some problems where Decimus Brutus misjudged Julius Caesar and stabbed him to death. We have an idiom from this, stab to death, that means kill by conspiracy, by cheating, by forgery. The last words of Julius Caesar were, "You true brute," right? You are also the one who is going to kill me. You are also going to break my trust. You know, trust is not built in a day. It takes ages to build that trust. And Brutus not only broke the trust of his friend and killed him, he himself also had to pay by his own life. And Julius Caesar's ghost did not let him live after that. Right? So this is a quick, shortest, in fact the shortest gist I could explain you of Julius Caesar, which I did. I'm myself very fond of Shakespearean plays. 37 plays Shakespeare, the master craftsman, and nobody can beat him till date in this tragedy scenario. Now, what is Caesar's wife? Caesar's wife is applied to public officials, people whose conduct is not only free from misdeed, but also from any suspicion of wrongdoing. You know, we have various people in our life whom we trust completely, thoroughly, fully aware. Why do we do that? Because we believe these people cannot cheat us at any cost. These people are there for us and they'll be always there with us. Our parents, our teachers, who are the backup, you know, they give us this backup, this support, so we can't, they stand by us through thick and thin. So these are the people whom we fully trust, and they act as, yes, Caesar's wife. We'll be reading the origin and the sentence further in the next video with a quick recap of it. Right, students? Please do like it and subscribe it. Thank you.